Yo, 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 yo. Pull up the chat. Give people time to come in here. Trying to give some people the time to get in here. Give them a couple minutes. Trying to give some people the time to get in here. Give them a couple minutes. Give people some time. See if people gonna join. Give some people time to get in here. Shout out to the 2 people in here or whatnot. I gotta start doing thumbnails, but what up with y'all though? Talk to me. Like the video. Shit, I'm gonna give about another minute, then I'm gonna go ahead and get into it. Looking for something right now. That's what y'all rock with me for about another 30 seconds. I'm just gonna go ahead and get to talking to whoever in here. Alright, so go ahead and get into it. Fall in when you fall in. First thing gonna be about is Terrence Crawford jealous. Terrence Crawford, Jermall Charlo's gotta understand he's undisputed, but he's not on my level. No Errol Spencer's level. That makes him mad and jealous. He feel like he's supposed to be at the top epsilon, but he's not. I beat his ass any day. Easy. Last Stand podcast. I don't know who should tell him, but maybe I should tell him. He's smoking crack. He doing dope. He doing dope bad. Terrence Crawford, I always just feel like he just gotta bring up. Granted, he was asked this question. He was asked about Jermall Charlo or whatnot, but like every time Jermall Charlo or Spence come up in like separate conversations, he always got some type of hater energy, bro. Shout out to my brother Just Do Boxing. Appreciate the support. But shit. Crawford just always seemed like he got some hater energy, and it started to sound like somebody that's like jealous that somebody else is getting the attention that he feel like he should get. So he got to downplay the other dude's accomplishments. Because in reality, you accomplish more, but at the same time, don't nobody really give a fuck. Like the only time you're really relevant in the sport of boxing is when you got the name of like one of the Charlo twins or Errol Spence Jr. name in your mouth. That's the only time people really care because you're not fighting nobody. It's like you use the other people's name to build your name up. And once you do that, you're gonna go ahead and start talking about something else. Okay, haven't y'all noticed that this man got a fight coming up in like another week or two? And we ain't heard him really talk about David Evanesian at all, bro. Not really at all. We ain't really seen him talk about David Evanesian whatsoever, bro. He talking about Spence and Charlo more than he talking about the person that he about to step in the ring with. I ain't saying that the man gonna lose, but it ain't really a good look that you over here overlooking somebody that you got to share the ring with or whatnot. Because a lot of people feel like him fighting David Evanescence is a way to like pull leverage to get more money in a way. But at the same time, I don't feel like it is because I don't feel like it's gonna work because Showtime and PBC and Al and EJ and them will just look at it like somebody just crashed out and paid him that money, even though it don't make financial sense to do so. Because that pay-per-views is going for, if I'm not mistaken, that pay-per-view going for like $40 a pop, bro. So even if he sold, say, hold on, let me calculate. 'Cause for starters, this pay-per-view is at a cheaper price than the average pay-per-view anyway. So the total gate sales in it or whatnot ain't gonna be that great because you charge 40 a pop for a pay-per-view. Say at and I know this probably highly unlikely because he ain't never done it, but say you sell 400,000 pay-per-view. That's only that'll get you $16 million. That's in order for them to actually make actual like return goddamn goddamn return on their investment, ROI. So yeah, that's crazy too. He got paid in full. So like unless they do like over 300 pay-per-view buys or something like that, this pay-per-view gonna be a flop from the simple aspect of that you paid this man 10 million and you paid David Evanescence whatever you paid him, but your pay-per-view is only $40. So you'll pretty much have to sell down there time and a half, basically, of what a regular pay-per-view will sell because you charge a half the price for it. And it really wouldn't make sense. And if it does that and it don't generate that much money or whatever, I don't see how that's making you look better at the investment table. You know what I mean? Like I don't get how that helps you at all. And it just every time you hear from him in an interview, you would probably wish that he didn't say anything at all. Every time he talk, it sounds like crazy and idiotic, and he contradicts himself because you can pull from one interview and go to another one. And I'm like, hell no, that don't even line up with the stuff that he just said in this one. Because for starters, you just think that you could just go in there and just beat everybody else. I mean, personally, I don't feel like that you could beat Errol Spence or Jermall Charlo. And when it comes to Jermall Charlo, it's not because they're like Jermall Charlo is more skilled than you or whatnot, but like I always been of the belief that a good big guy always beat a great small guy more times than not, unless you knock him out. Because 154 is a different beast. People said that he was too small to fight at 47 before he grew into it. So what makes you think that's going to change now when he goes to 54 and instead of fighting 8-ounce gloves, you're fighting at 10-ounce gloves? Like a lot of the shit you be saying don't make sense, bro. Like it just sound like he mad that other fighters get the adulation and the congratulations that he feel like that he deserved. And I feel like that's what his problem is for the most part. Because if you notice, every time he has an interview, he goes out of his way to make sure that everybody know that he feel like that people like Errol Spence and Jermall Charlo ain't shit compared to him, even though that we all know that already he's doing that because nobody really gives him credit for the shit that he do because he ain't really fighting nobody. Yeah, he went undisputed, and people give him credit for being undisputed, but they don't give his undisputed run the same type of weight that they give a Canelo Alvarez or Errol Spence being unified or Jermall Charlo being undisputed because of the way that he got undisputed wasn't really. I would like it wasn't like one of the strongest undisputed campaigns per se because the people that Jermall Charlo beat to become undisputed is way I ain't gonna say more respectable because you're supposed to respect all fighters, but it's more admirable. Like think about who he beat to become undisputed. He lost to Tony Harrison. Got that shit right back. Got him back. Then he got Brian Castano to finally become undisputed. I had to go look at the rest because I be forgetting people's names who he beat to get all four of the straps. But the point is, it seems like Bud might be suffering from you feeling like, okay, this nigga went undisputed, but I went undisputed first, but he get more love in the streets than I do. And I wonder why. But at the same time, you gotta be real with yourself, bro. Like the man just be out here lying to himself, bro. He just do. Because at one breath, when you talk about your resume, you'll be like, oh, Gamboa was a big win for me. Ricky Burns, Victor Postal, Sean Porter, Kell Brook. You know the same Sean Porter and Kell Brook that he discredited Errol for, he gave himself credit for being key wins. Like, how does that work that way? I don't get it. How is it a bad win for him? Not that much of a great win for him, but a good win for you when you fought him after him. And his main thing saying was, by the time you fought Kell Brook, he already had his eye busted and lost. So what does it mean when you beat Kell Brook after EJ busted the other eye? I don't get it. It's like he don't be thinking before he say shit, bro. He just be coming off at the mouth just saying shit. I don't really get that. Like that nigga, I don't know, bro. That nigga be tripping, bro. That nigga piss me off. Like the shit that he say be real fucking idiotic to me, bro. He just be talking out the side of his neck. Hold on, let me go back. I went on here to see enough about Crawford, and I'm gonna play this for y'all.
Right now.
I'm gonna keep it silent, but I've seen a lot of people talking about how Dimitri Bivol is too big for Jermall Charlo. Nigga, where? Look at it. Look at it. They're standing right next to each other, and you can clearly see that Jermall Charlo is bigger than Dimitri Bivol. But y'all keep telling me that Bivol is bigger than him, and it's not. Like, you can see it for yourself, and you still choose to lie to yourself instead of just accepting the truth. I don't get it. I really don't get that. Now, whether that determines whether that determines who wins a fight between them two, it doesn't. Like, if you say Bivol beat him, it's gonna be because of skill. It's not gonna be because of size, bro. I hate when people do that. Like, don't bring up size or why he gonna beat him when in reality, Maul bigger than him. So apparently, if you feel like you're gonna beat him, it's not gonna be because of that. It's gonna be because of skill, not because of size, bro. Dimitri Bivol is not that big of a fighter, bro. He's not. He's not that big of a fighter at all, bro. Like, I'm a show it to you. I'm gonna show it to you just to show how crazy people damn sound. How you spell his name? Dimitri Bivol. My bad for sound like I'm all over the place. I ain't really planning to go live today. I just thought I should talk about the shit that I've been thinking about these last couple of days that I've been seeing. And I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up right here for you. Dimitri Bivol, 6 feet tall, 72-inch arm reach. And I'm not doing this to downplay Dimitri Bivol at all because I'm a big fan of Dimitri Bivol actually. But I'm just going to show y'all that ain't nothing separating them but weight classes, and you can't really use that to say that, oh, he bigger than him. I mean, of course he fight at a higher weight, but that's it. They just at different divisions. Look, 6 feet, 72 reach. I'm gonna pull up Jermall Charlo for you. I'm gonna just show you how much Dimitri Bivol is just not a big 175 pounder. He's just not. That's not talking shit about him. He's real skilled and he's good at what he do. I'm gonna show you that he's just not that huge of a 175 pounder. Jermall Charlo, 6'1", 73.5-inch arm reach. It's clear that Jermall Charlo is the bigger fighter. He is the bigger fighter, bro. Hold on, my bad. Ain't even go to it. Tripping. I gotta show it to y'all. I'm trying to get it to pop up in the window that I got it on. So y'all can see it. I was just on it, but I forgot it took me to a new tab. For the box red. Mm. Dimitri Bivol. 6 foot, 72 arm reach. I already told y'all this, but I'm letting you see it for yourself so you know I ain't telling a lie. Let you know that I'm not telling a lie, not a single lie at all. It's gonna be right there in your face. Oh my god. It keep doing the same thing. Hold on. I know what to do for that. I know what to do for that. One sec. I'm gonna get y'all right. Now, y'all can see. I'm trying to get it where it's a little bit bigger where y'all can actually see it. Uh, trying to get it where y'all can see it real good. Y'all see it? You see it real good right now? 6 foot, 72-inch arm reach. Dimitri Bivol. To let you know, he's not that big of a light heavyweight at all. You see it at 6 feet, 72 arm reach. I'm gonna type in another name for y'all. I'm gonna show you how close to size all these fighters are before people start trying to pull out the whole size factor being the reason. Let's sit right there for a second so y'all can see. Type it in. Hit the search. I can see it yourself. 6'1", 73.5-inch arm reach. From a physical aspect, Jermall Charlo is a naturally bigger fighter than Dimitri Bivol. I don't understand why it's so hard for people to actually see that when they're in the video standing right next to each other. I don't get it. Now watch this. The last one I'm gonna show y'all probably gonna fuck y'all up a little bit. But this one probably ain't because y'all call him fat anyway. I like to call my boy fat anyway. But I'm gonna show y'all exactly how close all three of these people are in height and reach. David Benavidez, 6 feet, 6 feet and a half, only a half inch bigger than Dimitri Bivol. But he got a longer arm reach than Jermall Charlo and Dimitri Bivol. So physically, Jermall Charlo and David Benavidez is bigger than Dimitri Bivol from a height and reach standpoint. So it's not y'all. I don't get why everybody instantly when they seen that Jermall Charlo was calling him out, that everybody instantly went to the whole size thing. And this last person I'm finna show y'all that people don't really talk about being a big 168 pounder. But I'm gonna show you because it might fuck some people up. Caleb Plant, 6'1", 74-inch arm reach. It's bigger than Dimitri Bivol. Three people that don't even fight at light heavyweight are all bigger than Dimitri Bivol physically. So quit using that physical shit as an excuse, and it doesn't exist. All three of these people, Caleb Plant, David Benavidez, Jermall Charlo, are all bigger than Dimitri Bivol. The only difference is Dimitri Bivol is the only one that fight at light heavyweight. That's the only difference, bro. Shout out to my boy A1. Appreciate you coming through. Just trying to build a little rotation going on. Now, I'll get through that. We just have a little conversation after this. But it's just it's just tying to everything about when I say I feel like Jermall Charlo get a lot of unwarranted hate that other fighters don't really be getting it. And I get it. I ain't been watching as long as everybody else or whatever, but I ain't really got to. From what I see from the last 2 to 3 years watching boxing, Jermall Charlo get a whole lot of hate that I feel like ain't really all that warranted to begin with. I'm talking about he ain't fought in about a year and a half. Cool. If I'm not mistaken, he had a back injury. But now the same people that give adulations and praise to Canelo Alvarez or a Terrence Crawford or a Tyson Fury or somebody like that, they are the same people calling for Jermall Charlo to be stripped. These are the same people asking for Jermall Charlo to be stripped. I don't understand it. The man lit the man literally has an injury. Well, had an injury. And people calling for this man to be stripped. But here it is now. Canelo been undisputed for how long? For over a year, and not a mandatory defense at all until now that he's going to have to satisfy it this year. I mean, Triple G was a voluntary, but as far as like having like a mandatory, he hasn't had one. And you don't hear Canelo fans calling for this man to be stripped, even though he's been holding up a division for damn near 2 years now. Nobody wants to bring that shit up. People just be talking shit. It just be a lot of people on here talking out the side of their ass. Terrence Crawford one Canelo fans another one. Like, I don't like how they try to put all this prestige on Dimitri Bivol out of fucking nowhere. Uh, oh shit. Hey, it be like that sometimes. Shit, I can't control that. Just shit, the show must go on. But no, I just find it crazy that people be having double standards, bro. People just really be having double standards on these fighters, bro. People don't be fans of the sport of boxing. Or they don't even be fans of a certain fighter. They just dislike another fighter so much that they're going to go for anybody else that's not that fighter. That's the type of shit they do. Like, they got so much hate in their heart that they can't even enjoy the sport of boxing. They spend their whole like, and they ain't even just throwing no shots, but if the shoe fit fucking weird. Some people literally dedicate a whole channel or a whole page or a whole post dedicated to hating somebody else as a boxer, somebody that you don't know in real life, a nigga that you're never going to see. And if you did see him, you wouldn't do shit to him. You wouldn't bust a grape in a fucking food fight. If you ever seen these people in your life, where you dedicate this much time to somebody that don't know you from a can of fucking paint, instead of keeping it boxing, just keeping it boxing, keeping that shit player, you just hate this nigga so bad that you take it personal with a nigga that you ain't never gonna see in your fucking life unless you buy a ticket to their fight. That's weird energy to me. That's really, 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 really weird, bro. That's weird as shit. Like, I've never been invested in somebody so much to the point where I feel like, oh, I just can't take it no more. I gotta make a page about this nigga. I gotta talk about this nigga. Like, what? What are you doing? Like, what are you doing with your life to the point where you hate this man so bad that you gotta make a whole page against this man? It's like, I look at no offense, no offense to nobody that root for the Cowboys, whatever, but most of the Cowboys fans are batshit crazy and delusional. They remind me of Terrence Bud Crawford fans. They hold on to some shit that he did at 135, 140, and they bring it up every time they don't have a valid point, right? Every time they don't have a valid point, oh, Bud was undisputed, or Bud pound for pound. Even though we already know that the pound for pound list is surely subjective and people vote on it, there's no metrical thing that you can measure to tell me that, oh, my pound for pound list is perfect, you can't dispute it, and it ain't nothing wrong with it. It's surely opinion. And especially the ESPN pound for pound list is generally biased anyway. Most of the time, when somebody from top rank, some European white guy that they like lose or fall off real bad, they'll just drop a little bit, right? But with somebody from the PBC or the zone or some shit like that, it be on there. If one of them win, they'll take one of them off and replace the other one. Like, there's no way that Lomachenko is just now coming off the pound for pound list. They're gonna they're doing that. So if somehow miraculously Lomachenko beats Devin Haney, that they're gonna say that Lomachenko beat a pound for pound fighter and why he wasn't and why he fell off. They doing all that shit for a reason because we already know that Devin is a pound for pound fighter. But why y'all wait until they get into negotiation with each other to take Lomachenko off the pound for pound list and put Devin Haney on? You ain't never noticed that? Like if I'm not mistaken, Jermall Charlo was on there like once. If I'm not mistaken, if I'm not mistaken, when they put Devin in, they took Tank off. And the same thing with Mill. Like every time they put one in, they take one out. I'm not the only person that notices that. And I feel like me not watching boxing my whole life could be seen as a downside, but I look at it as a positive from the standpoint that I have a different lens on boxing. I don't look at boxing from the traditional standpoint that other people look at it as. I don't look at it from the fundamental how can you put it? The fundamental I don't look at it with the fundamental lens of other people. Like the way people think boxing is supposed to be, because it's been like this for the last 30 to 40 years. Maybe I don't have that eye for boxing that other people have. I see it straight down the middle. Balls and strikes, right, wrong, fair, and unfair. That's how I see it. I don't care who you're signed to or what you like outside of the sport of boxing or what you do outside of the sport of boxing. If I feel like you're better than that person, no matter what you've done, if I've seen you fight people and seen you fight people and I feel like this person is better, that's what I'm gonna go with. I'm not gonna be like, oh, Lomachenko is gonna beat such and such because he's a unified world champ. He's Olympic gold medal. Don't nobody give a fuck, bro. For somebody that used to be a casual fan, before I decided to look at boxing seriously, people don't care about what you did in the amateurs or the Olympics. None of that matter. None of that matters because he's the Matrix now, and when Devin beats him, he's old. Watch what I tell you. Watch what I tell you. When Devin beat the shit out of him, they're going to say Lomachenko was old. The war did him bad, and Loma is not the same person that we always known Loma to be. We even know, even before he went to the war, most people on the internet already knew that Devin Haney could beat Lomachenko. Hence why he got himself franchised and didn't fight Devin Haney when Devin Haney was his mandatory. So him fighting Devin Haney now at an older age, if nobody fought but his, who else can you blame? Who can you put it on? You can't put it on nobody, bro. Like what? Like who can you put that on? You had all the belts. You were supposed to fight him because he was your mandatory, and you got franchised. You requested to be franchised, meaning that you wouldn't have to defend your belt against this man. And now that the shoe on the other foot, you out with your hand out. You got your hand out now. You're not the same great Lomachenko no more that you used to be. Now you walk around with your hand out because the ball ain't in your court no more. You don't have all the scratch. You don't have the power play. The whole power play of Bob Arum signing Devin Haney to begin with is to feed him to Lomachenko because they already knew that he was going to beat George Kambosos, and they wanted to feed him to Lomachenko. So by the time he fight for Lomachenko, they want to get the belts off Devin. So when the deal is over with Devin, they no longer have to do business with him. That's the whole plan. And they're going to be pissed when Devin beats Loma, and they're going to try to negotiate another 2 to 3 fight deal with him, which I hope he turns down, so they could try to get Devin his get back or fight with Teofimo Lopez if he move up to 140. Because if Devin stays at 135, me personally, unless you're going to fight Shakur, I'll do like a 2 to 3 fight deal with Showtime, and you can go ahead and get the Tank fight out the way. And that's what you really want to do. That's what I do. Because once you fulfill your obligations, you're no longer required to fight with them. So if I was you, I would stay a free agent until a big fight comes, so promotional issues won't be an issue. You took a risk before the fight Kambosos. There's nothing to lead me to believe that Devin wouldn't take the risk again and fight Tank Davis. Barring that he's successful against Ryan Garcia, like most people think. I'm kind of on the fence about that too. Like my boxing mind is telling me that Tank's gonna win, but I see it more as a 50-50 fight than most people because most people say that it's a 50-50 fight, but then turn around and treat it like Ryan ain't got no chance of hell. It can't be both ways. Is it 50-50 or is it 70-30? Pick one. And I'm not saying who gonna win, who ain't. Tank should win because Tank is supposed to be the better fighter. But you got to be careful to not downplay Ryan Garcia and his talent because you got Tank naysayers out there that's going to try to downplay this win against Ryan Garcia and be like, nobody wanted to see the fight and nobody really cared and don't nobody care about the fight, this, that, and the third. When we all know that's a lie. Because if Devin fought Ryan Garcia or if Shakur fought Ryan Garcia, it'd be a certain group of people in the boxing community that'll be singing an entirely different tune altogether. You know, it's just they go back to the whole thing of people being more so haters of a certain fighter than actually being a fan of a particular fighter. And there was stuff go wrong because if Tank knocked this man out, they're gonna say that he fought a nobody. Then if Ryan beats him, he gonna say he lost to a bum. But if it was Devin Haney on the other hand, and Ryan beat Devin Haney, they'll be like, oh, Devin lost to a talented fighter in Ryan Garcia, or Devin beat a great fighter in Ryan Garcia. You see how the tune changes when you go from a fighter that they don't like to a fighter that they do like. I'm not picking a side or whatever. It's just you got to keep in mind what comes out your mouth is a powerful thing. If you spend your whole time downplaying this man on your channel, when Tank beats this man, if he beats this man, which I feel like is highly likely, but it's still one of them things like we're gonna see when we see, it's one of the things where you don't want to downplay him so bad that when he do beat him, can't nobody give him no credit because G.I. done shitted on the man the whole lead up to the fight. How can you give a man credit for beating him if you ain't give his opponent credit for being a good fighter to begin with? You know, it's just one of those things with boxing where people say shit, then walk around with their foot in their mouth when they did wrong instead of just let certain things play out or making an educated statement before you open your mouth and say something retarded. If that makes sense. Like sometimes people just open their mouth and say things that don't really make no type of sense for real. Like think about it. People literally come out their mouth and be like, Errol Spencer's fought nobody. They say something like that. Or they say what's another saying that they love to say. They'll tell you that Andre Ward lost to Kovalev because he got dropped. Or they'll tell you that Floyd lost to Marcos Maidana because he fought dirty. And when you go to the punch stats and you look at the film, it's a complete lie. You can't really like people will say things based off emotion and what they feel and whether they like a certain fighter or not, but it don't even be true. They just be lying to themselves, trying to make themselves feel better about their favorite fighter getting beat up. People got to learn how to start judging sports with their mind and not their emotions. When you judge shit with your emotions, you end up looking like a fool in the end. When you make an educated guess and like because that's all a prediction is. If all you doing is making an educated guess and you end up being wrong, you can be like, okay, cool, I was wrong about this, and he was the better man that day. But once you campaign so crazy and go against this dude so bad to the point that like it's no return, what can you do? Huh? What can you do? After you done made live after live after this man about this man, dogged this man out, killed his resume, said he ain't this, said he ain't that. When you're wrong about that situation, how can you recover? How can your credibility be the same that you were so hell bent on being biased towards a fighter that you like because you dislike this other guy that people can't even take your credibility for anything anymore because you refuse to look at the fight as a double-edged sword. You refuse to look at it as it's like it could go either way. I don't get it. And there's a lot of people that make their bones like that. They get a lot of followers, but they be wrong a lot. And you end up with a big old cult following that's gonna follow every little stupid thing you say, even when you're wrong. And it just all look crazy. That'd be one of the things why people don't respect YouTubers. Because they jump all crazy on somebody without even having both sides of the story. Because a lot of y'all will run with something that's your opinion and attach the word facts at the end of it and think that it makes it true because you say it's a fact. Who are you? Just because you say facts at the end, that doesn't make it a fact. That don't mean you're telling the truth. Just because you truly feel that way, unless you can prove it, it don't mean nothing. It don't mean nothing at all, bro. Not a damn thing. It don't mean nothing. Not nothing at all. I can walk around till I'm blue in the face and tell you that Roland knocked out Tank Davis, but if you turn on the film, it was the other way around. Just because I put facts at the end of it, that doesn't mean that it really happened. People gotta quit doing that. They always doing that. They always be like, well, such and such, this, such and such, facts. But it's not a fact. Were you in the interrogation room? Did you hear this come out of somebody's mouth, particularly that's close to the situation? Did you hear anything that would lend you to think that what you're saying is the absolute truth and you can prove it? Because if it's not, you're lying. You're lying to the people that's coming to watch you live. You're lying to the general public. And all it does is makes you look crazy. That's all it really do for you. I promise that's literally all it's gonna do for you, bro. That's all it's gonna do for you, bro. People just be saying stuff just to be saying it. Let's see. I'm checking my what a name real quick. That's all it do for you, bro. All it's gonna do is just show the world that you so emotionally attached that you can't even come back from being wrong. And if you don't want to be wrong in this sport, you might as well find you something else to follow, bro. And I'm just being honest. You might as well find you something else to follow because you're not gonna be right about every single thing. Nobody is. And if you think you are, you're lying to yourself from the beginning. You're putting yourself behind the eight ball. Because how could you possibly think that you're right about everything? That's impossible. It's another couple of things that I want to get into. I'm just against this situation on my phone or whatever. But I don't understand Bud Crawford fans. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I probably never will. They're trying to justify it to me why he took $2 million with David Avenesian against why he didn't take the $10 million against Errol Spence Jr. Well, no, they're not. They're saying that he took the $10 million guaranteed to fight David Avenesian because he didn't get a guaranteed purse from Showtime and Steven Espinoza. But they keep refusing to tell the other half of the story. The part of the story where they tell you, well, Bud asked for $25 million and Steven Espinoza said he'll give you 10, but you wouldn't budge for 15. Then he turned around and said, okay, since you don't want to come off of that, how about neither one of y'all get a guaranteed purse and y'all get all y'all money from the back end? That's how the no guarantee thing came along. It's been proven. It's out there. If you don't believe it, go see it for yourself. It ain't like he went into the negotiations and said, okay, nobody gets a guarantee. He offers you $10 million and you refuse to budge off the number that you wanted. And that's how it got to that situation. And the same number that you wouldn't want to budge off of and take the $10 million to fight Errol Spence plus the pay-per-view money, that's the same money that you took to fight David Avenesian on the app. That's the same money that you took to go fight a bum, right? Let me not call him a bum. Somebody that you have no business fighting. David Avenesian is the guy that David Avenesian is the nigga that lost to the nigga that lost to the nigga that lost to the nigga. Basically. David Avenesian got stopped by Meme Machine. That got stopped by Terrence Crawford. He lost to Lamont Peterson. That got stopped by Errol Spence. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't he lose to Sergey Lipinets too. The dude that got stopped by Boots. You pretty much fighting somebody that been stopped by other people that been stopped by other people. It's like you fighting super duper leftovers. Like if you want to go, don't get me wrong, EJ is like one of my favorite fighters for sure. But it ain't my favorite enough to like tell lies. So truthfully, if he wasn't gonna fight Earl Spence and he told us that he was gonna fight Boots Ennis, Keith Thurman, something like that, Boots, Keith Thurman, Ugas, something like that, I would have been disappointed. Or I'd be like, well, this ain't bad either though. This still a step up from what he normally do. You feel me? I could have been satisfied with that. But the fact that you're fighting David Avenesian instead of Errol Spence Jr., that's crazy. I could have seen if it was Boots, Keith Thurman, or you moved up and fought Charlo or Harrison or Fondora or somebody. I could have seen, or Brian Castaño, I could see if it was something like that. But you went from unifying, oh yeah, yeah, and he about to get stopped by Bud too, and we know it. It probably won't go past 3-4 rounds, bro. Then on top of that, what I about to say? Not only he didn't fight Errol Spence to become undisputed, this nigga skipped the whole top 10. He skipped the whole top 10. If I'm not mistaken, David Avenesian is ranked like 12. Like he ranked like 12 in the WBO. He skipped the whole top 10, bro. He skipped the entire top 10. The whole top 10 of the WBO. That's what you did. Instead of becoming undisputed, you skipped the entire top 10. If I'm not lying, let me go see if they changed the if they what I'm about to say, let me go see if they changed the WBO rankings. Let me go see. WBO welterweight rankings. Let me see if they changed it. I gotta see if there's up there. I need to go to the WBO website. The WBO year 2022. What is it? November. Category. The category is what you guys welterweight. Search. Let me go back to Restream so I can pull it up for y'all. I got the wrong tab up. You ain't lying. He could have fought anybody with a name, bro. Anybody with a name, bro. Salute Jay. Salute to you coming through, bro. Just talking, popping my shit a little bit. I'm gonna go right here. Not the females, man. I'm looking for the men. Crawford is the super champion, right? All right. Top 10. He skipped Virgil, Boots, Keith Thurman. Well, Conor being suspended and he'll drug cheat. I don't blame him. He skipped Alex Rocha. Oh, David Avenesian is number 6 now. Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all ain't finna trick me. Wait a damn minute. Let me go back. Let me go back. Let me go see what David Ebenezer was in like August. Okay. Okay. Hmm. I had to make sure I wasn't tripping. Cool. He still ain't fight the number 1 nigga. Okay, cool. He fight the number 6 guy. I was off by maybe 3 to 4 spots. My bad. But you see all those people in between? See all those people in between that he could have fought, that he didn't fight? Y'all see that? Let me see if I can change it and make it look a little bit closer. Y'all see that though? All the people that he skipped through, but the whole problem he gonna have now is he gonna be trapped now. But gonna be trapped because Virgil and Stanionis got to fight, and y'all see who's number 2, Jerron Boots Ennis. So either way it go, Boots gonna be right there. Now, I've been hearing rumors about the WBO mandating issuing a mandatory 4 times Crawford after this fight. which would mean after the Staniosis Virgil fight, if Virgil win, he the champion of another section about it, which takes him out the rankings to begin with, which boots up. If he loses and gain a loss, that's going to drop him in the rankings anyway and push Boots up, which would mean that you would either have to fight Errol Spence Jr. or you have to fight Jerron Boots Ennis. Pick your poison. You want to fight the young, hungry, talented dude for less money and risk your O? Or would you rather fight Errol Spence and risk your O? You know, you really gonna decide. You really gonna have to decide there. Which one is worth the risk more? You gotta ask yourself that. Ask yourself which one is worth it more to you. You gotta see. Hey, well, you funny as hell. I'm trying to, man, I can't even pull up my little, what you call it now, though. I'm trying to change my little, I was trying to change my little thumbnail for my live or whatever. That's what I was trying to do anyway. That's a fact. We really don't care. We really don't care about this fight at all. Black Cars number 9. That's crazy. Let me go see some. It's just mind blowing though. Hold on. Let me go back to my little Twitter thing. Let's just hopping around the place a little bit. A lot of notifications. All right, what up? Let me go to this. My likes. Where is it? Let me know if y'all here. Yeah, you're right. And I'm finna share my screen again, show y'all some. Most of y'all probably not heard it, but I'm gonna play it and tell y'all what I took from it, what I think about it.
Errol Spence or Bud Crawford?
Let me know if y'all can hear it.
Hey, he can't go against his boy. He doing what he's supposed to be doing. I respect that.
No, I know for sure. I'm
going with Bud.
And why?
I think
he say why?
I think we rapping, me and the champ rap. I just think that, Earl he hadn't been in front of nobody with the tools that Bud got. I think Bud can give him a little bit more problem than a lot of guys standing in front of him with bricks in their shoes. I think Bud ain't gonna stand there, and it wouldn't behoove him or be smart to stand there and try to trade with Earl. He would have to box Earl.
All right, but now you see how you say that, right? Okay, imagine we in the, let's just say we in a gunfight, right?
Yeah.
And I got a metal shield, and the opposite person got a glass shield.
Okay, champ.
Who gonna come out on top?
The guy with the metal shield.
Okay.
My man.
That's all I'm saying. Yeah, but how much he run around once them hands get on him, it's gonna slow him down. And once
definitely if he touch him, He definitely, if he touch him clean, he'll break him down.
Ain't no if. He gonna touch him. He gonna touch him.
And that's what we gonna see what he made of. That's what we gonna see, his resolve and what he's really made of. That'll answer all the questions I need to know who the dominance at 147. If he touch and break that shield and Bud can't stand up to that, that'll let me know all respect. I gotta give it to him.
I ain't gonna lie. If he felt like he was gonna win the fight, he would have took this offer that they gave him.
I mean, Michael Jordan before the game put up a 500 shots. I said, is you crazy? 2 hours before the game, Mike was there warming up. So when you got elite athletes like the Tanks, the Michael Jordans of their sport, the dominant fight players of their sport, they make it look easy. Mike made that shit look easy, man.
And Terrence gonna come 2 hours after the fact.
Ooh.
Fighter earlier. Terrence. He gonna come 2 hours after. He ain't gonna show up 2 hours before. You know when you come to the gym, you know how people used to warm up and they used to take all day? That's Terrence. He ain't gonna come out there and let's get this shit working.
I just played that for y'all to see what Tank had to say about that and what he thought about it. And I agree with it. Everybody always talk about all these different tools that Terrence Crawford got, and when he do this and when he do that. He used a comparison to a gunfight. And I'm gonna use the same type of analogy, but different analogy. It's like you walking down the street and you see a nigga that don't like you, and say you got an ARP, an FNN, and a Glock 40. You got all these guns on you, right? The nigga that you see got a Draco. You got all these different ways to kill this man, but if he up that first and shoot at you first, you out of there. I go to that to say you can have all the weapons and all the tools in the toolbox all you want to, but if you don't really get a chance to use it like that, how good is it really? How good is it really? Like, you could know how to do all these fancy things, you could do all that, but if you can't get to it, how's it gonna work? How? I'd rather take somebody that's damn near perfect in this one thing than somebody that's pretty good at these other things. Because at the end of the day, it's not if EJ gonna hit you, it's when he gonna hit you. And how are you gonna be able to take it after a while? Because I can only see Terrence Crawford winning this fight by knockout. But yeah, and I'm not saying that like Terrence Crawford ain't no good fighter or whatever, but at the same time, it's like, how else do you win? Because you're not gonna outwork him. His punch rate is so high, you're not gonna outwork him as a boxer at all. You're not gonna outwork him. And basically what it is, if you can't outwork EJ, you're not gonna outpoint him. You can't outpoint a nigga that you can't outwork, bro. Not in that situation. Now somebody that's throwing upwards to 60 to 80 punches around and landing at a high efficient rate. Ain't he throwing hella body shots and good with the jab, changing levels with the jab. You're not gonna be able to outpoint somebody like that. And we already know that Terrence Crawford is a slow starter. So if you start slow and he win these early rounds, you're gonna have to dig in and crash out and take some unnecessary chance and risk that you wouldn't have had to take if you didn't start so slow, which would leave him open to these body shots and his body attack and these jabs and these counter punches that everybody think that Terrence Crawford's gonna have the whole night. Don't think that he's gonna have these counter punch windows and EJ will never have counter punch windows against him. It's not a one-way fight. Just like he'll have his counter opportunities, EJ gonna have his counter opportunities as well. But I probably just, yep, that's pretty much all I got for this live. I'm hollering at y'all next time I got some more stuff to talk about. Flosser Sports TV.